in Inyoni Beis Abchira. We have the honor today to have our Rav Goen, Rav Chosid, Rav Dovber is going to give us some insight in the building of the Beis Hamikdash. We should be zoiche. As he speaks, we should have the Siyum HaGolas taken from Yad. Rav B'Aksha.
First of all, it's a very big chiddush of the Rebbe, learning Hilchos Beis HaBechira on Tisha B'Av itself. But the Rebbe, some of the chvivus of being Mekayim this Heirah of the Rebbe. The Rebbe always would bring down the Yalkut Shemeni about why it is we learn Hilchos Beis HaBechira, that when Yecheskel was told by HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when he was given to give over to the Bnei Yisrael all of the details of the building of the Tzura, and all of the details of the Beis HaMikdash, so he said, we're in Golas, how can we do it? And we're always quoted, it's as if we're building it by learning the halachas. So that's the first reason that Rebbe gave for it. The Rebbe also mentioned the later years. The Rebbe mentioned that it's a poshet halacha lamaisa. We're going to have to know where to go and how to get around the Beis Hamikdash for atat kum to geula. And even though certain details certain not only details in yonim klolim will be different by the Beis Hamikdash Ashlishi, but the many things will be the same. And also we'll learn Yecheskel as much as we could understand it in order to understand what's about the third Beis Hamikdash. There I've also mentioned the shtekikus when you learn about the Beis Hamikdash, so you can sing Sheyibone Beis Hamikdash with a shtekikus, with a desire to go that we should actually see the Beis Hamikdash. The Shaila is, and why do we want to see the Beis Hamikdash? So we have in general two different approaches. The Rebbe always brings down the Machlekes, the Rambam, the Ramban. Although the Rebbe minimizes the Machlekes to a certain extent, that according to the Rambam, the basic inyan of the Beis Hamikdash is to have a place, La'akri Be'karbones, it's for the mitzvahs that are being Bekoyim, the inyan von Shleimus Teira mitzvahs, why Mashiach has to build the Beis Hamikdash, it's one of the essential inyanim, that all the mitzvahs have to be fulfilled. And the Ramban brings down the inyan from that's the place for Gilia Shechina. And the Rambam also agrees with the inyan from Gilia Shechina, it's from the Gemara. What I wanted to speak about just a little bit, I'm just going to speak for a few minutes, but this inyan of being margish, the Beis HaMikdash, the Yaakov says of art, that we daven facing towards the Beis HaMikdash. So he says when you're facing the Beis HaMikdash, he says, Chashuv ke'ilu ata emed bebeis Elokim lifnei aron Hashem. That you should be thinking at the time you're davening Shemona Esrei as if you're standing in the Beis Hamikdash in front of the Ark. In the Kedesh Kadoshim, that always have Habrengas that we should be able to go to the Yerushalayim, Arabayas, in the Kedesh Kadoshim, that you should envision yourself, you're standing over there, right in front of the Ark, with the place which the Gilia Shechina. And that's why it is that we daven facing Yerushalayim, and why it is when you build a shul, it has to be facing Yerushalayim, and many dinim. So the Rebbe, the famous Kunteres, Beis Rabbeinu Shabbabavel. So the Rebbe first speaks al Pinigla, the Gemara in Megillah, that it speaks that the pasuk in Yecheskel, Evi lehem lemikdash ma'at, that I'll be for you of Mikdash Ma'at, so the Gemara brings Omer Rav Yitzchak Elu Botik Nesias Botik Midrasha Shababavel. The first opinion, the second opinion says the Beis Rabbeinu Shababavel. The Rebbe brings down Le Pligi. It's not a machlekes where it is that the Shechina is going to be. The Rebbe brings down there's different levels of Shechina in different places that the Shechina is going to be there. We see a very interesting thing. The Rebbe brings down the Haaretz, that it says over there in the Gemara that when they came to Babel, that there were different places where the Shechina was. Beknishta de Utzal, Beknishta de Shov Yosef ben Arda. So there are different ways of translating this Shov and Yosef ben Arda. So one way it's translated by Mefarshim that it was destroyed and then it was rebuilt. The Rebbe breaks down over here in the Haaretz. So interesting, two different opinions about how it was built. It was built, everybody agrees it was built by Yechoniah. Before the Churban, so Yechoniah was Melech, I think, for 3 months over there, and then Nebuchadnezzar sent him with all the Choshev Yidden from Yerushalayim and sent him off to Golos and Babel. So it says over there that shul, Bona Yechoniah v'Sayate, this is the Rashi in the Gemara, Me'avonim v'Ofar, sheheviu imon begaluson. That they were Mekayim, it says, Rotzo Avadachas Avanes, Avfor Yechonenu, that they brought with them, another place Rashi says, Me'avne Yerushalayim. They brought the stones from Yerushalayim and built the Beis HaKnesses out of those stones. Now, another quotes over here, the Aruch, it says, the Siyu Bahadayu Mi Beis HaMikdash. That they took stones from the Beis HaMikdash. With all the Farshim, you have some Sefer, Rigorous Mesha. We're talking how were they able to bring stones from the Beis HaMikdash. Not allowed to use stones from the Beis HaMikdash. Able from Harabayis. Whole different discussion over there, how they were able to bring it. The name said that's what V'karu Shof v'Yosef Kleimar Shenose Mikdash v'Yoshav Sham. That the Mikdash itself, Shof v'Yosef, that the Mikdash itself traveled and it dwelt in Nardon. This place over there that fits well. There's a Zayah, it brings down the Zayah. It says V'asali. The Zayah says in Nasi V'asali Mikdash. V'asali Mikdash says that make for me a Mikdash. It doesn't put any conditions on it. So the Zayah says the Chol Bei Knishta Ba'alma Mikdash Ikri. Any Beis HaKnesses in the world is called Mikdash. So we see that there's this comparison. We see many different dinim. You have Leisas from Cain, that you should break down their altars, but you shouldn't do that with anything in the Beis HaMikdash. Some say it says Poshet is Midiraisa, all discussion whether Midiraisa, Midiraban, in the Beis HaKnesses. Some say it says Poshet is Midiraisa. We have other dinim, Yiras HaMikdash, and then we have how someone is supposed to behave in the Beis HaKnesses. You have the Chemet brings down days that the Indian building that a community is obligated to build a shul. There are many opinions that say that's a mitzvah d'oraisa, mitzadin v'asali mikdash. There is a chiyuv, it's a machlekes, it's mitzvah mitzvah. A component when it comes in the Beis HaMikdash itself, the tzura, the Beis HaMikdash and the kelim. So you see many dinim in Shulchan Aruch where it says that things should be done in the shul a certain way because this was like in the Beis HaMikdash. Some sefer use as the yesod for this the minig that we make Hoshana Rabbah when we go around the bima, which was like going around the Mizbeach. So it has a number of things. The whole discussion about Bima Be'emtza, the whole big machlekes that when the Reform movement came out, so they wanted to move the Shulchan Akriya, they wanted to move it all, they didn't want to, they did. They moved it in their temples, they moved it all the way to the front. And this became a big malchama that places wanted to modernize and they wanted to put the Shulchan Akriya in the front. And then they want to put the chazan, instead of mimamakim, that he's on this ground level with everybody else, that he should be elevated and put on a special bima high, that everybody should hear him. And the whole muchama over there about bima be'emtza. But one of the discussions, what's in it for bima be'emtza? You have to build a shul in the same way like it was in the Beis HaMikdash. There's a discussion whether the bima for the Shulchan Akriya corresponds to Mizbeach HaChitzon and Mizbeach HaPnimi. You have actually Sam Sefer and his son have a discussion. It comes out Sam Sefer wanted to say it's more these nated that it's more like the Mizbeach Hazav, where there's his son, the Michlav Sefer. So he wrote over there that it corresponds to Mizbeach HaChitzon. He wants to say that the Teva, where the Chazan davens, that's like the Mizbeach HaKteres. Tikkun Tvilosim Keteres. It says the davening is like the Keteres, so the place where the Chazan davens is like the Keteres. So the Arden, okay, the Arden where the Sefer Torah is, so that's as clear like the Kedesh Kadoshim. Where the Arden is where the Torah is kept, and therefore the dinim, all discussion in Poskim, whether it has to be mamish in the middle of the wall, is it allowed to be a little bit to the side, and also this that it's sticking out from the wall. That the way to build the Arden Kedesh, instead of being recessed into the wall, that it's out in the wall, is in order to be like the Kedesh Kadoshim, which was also part of the building instead of recessed So too, when we light the menorah on Hanukkah, you light it on the south to correspond to the menorah. There's Shulchan Aruch that you have to have an entrance, some sort of hallway before, so you shouldn't walk straight from the street directly inside, and many dinim. And there's a lot to say on this whole inyan. Just want to conclude that he brings down over there the son of the Sam Sefer. So he brings down that this, when you're sitting in a shul, he says part of the idea is the ishtekikus, that you're sitting over here, the tzura should remind you of that Atat kumt boy in the Beis Hamikdash, and it should arouse us for a desire to do everything we can. And he brings down over there, Ulai Nirmaz, he says that since Mipnei Chataenu Golinu Martzenu and the Tikkun, in order to bring the Geula, is the correction of that. So he says, Ulai Nirmaz, he says in the words of Yecheskel, these psukim that are quotes in the Yalkut. So it says, Ata ben Adam in Yecheskel Mem Gimel Yud, Ata ben Adam Hager is Beis Yisrael as Habayis. So tell him what the Beis Hamikdash should look like. V'yikol me Avein Eseyim, U'modadu es Tavnis. And then he talks about all the different details. So Darshan's over there is derech haremes, that when you realize and you learn about the Beis Hamikdash and all the details, and then you see the reflection of it in the place where you're davening, this will be meir a person to do tshuva, and therefore the actual tzura and the description itself brings the actual Beis Hamikdash b'peil.
Shkoyach Havel, as we know.